And it's a whole SWAT team. Why is SWAT here? Huh? Ah, there you are. Hello, my amazing and wonderful Stashinov! Yeah, you might notice that I changed your name. I did, I did, because I came up with a better one and we upgraded. So yeah, deal with it. Wow, that is like, ooh, oh no. Okay, we're just gonna stick with this one. Back to the wall. They say that a sucker is born every single day. What I just said is completely irrelevant and pointless to the story, but what had happened was, see, the person who donated sperm to create half of my biological makeup is a bum. Heck, I don't even know if he's alive right now. Do I care? No. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have any love for that man. Not a little tiny bit. Jesus, forgive me, we are working on healing every day. That being said, my actual father, my dad, the one who raised me, is probably watching this right now. Hi, Daddy. You told me not to post stuff on the interwebs, but here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Because my people deserve to know my stories and everything I've been through. So let's get right into it real quick, okay? I just, as a kid, you don't quite fully understand you don't grasp the fullness of what's going on. So I just hit one of those days. I woke up in the middle of the night to my mom and I was like, I want my daddy. I want my daddy. And you see, the thing about my mother is, angel, sweet and kind as she is, everything that my biological dad has put her through, she worked hard to make sure that I would not grow up hating that man. And mommy, I'm sorry, but your efforts were in vain. Your efforts were in vain. So let me tell you this story. Well, my dad, she's like, okay, it was a weekend. It was a Thursday night. So she's like, yeah, when you're done at school, we'll just have him. Wait, no, I think it was a long weekend. So we had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We had Thursday night into Sunday. So it's like, yeah, we'll just take you over to your dad. So she just takes me. She usually take me there, drop me off. Everything's all right. Everything's set. Everything's cool, right? Wrong. Because tell me why the moment I get there, this man comes out, gives me a hug, the works, and then he just looks at me and goes, oh, you gained a lot of your weight. Your mom must be overfeeding you. We're gonna fix that. And as y'all know, I was a chunky kid. I'll probably insert a picture right here, depending on how I'm feeling. Maybe not. Who knows? Um, I don't remember if I said this already, but I got some gear. I have to keep it quiet because, as y'all know, I live in the hood. For those of you who don't know, I live in low income housing. Yeah. But I got all of this amazing gear, this 4K camera that you're looking at me on right now. I got it for like $40. And I got this mic for like 20. And I got this ling right. I said ling right, I know, for $20. So all of them under $100. I know. Thank you. Back to the story. So this bum of a man decided that he was going to help me lose all of the weight that I had gained, which that's a whole different story for a different day, why I was a chunky kid. I was bullied very badly. We'll get into that too later. So he decided, hey, I'm going to help you lose some weight. All the weight you have in the next 3 days that I have you. Okay, go off. I get there, and guess what he does? He doesn't give me any food. For Thursday, midday into nighttime, and the whole of Friday, he hands me this giant carton of orange juice, and that's all I drink all day, every day. He had a wife, and he had a son, my half brother. I don't know what he's got going on right now. Either he's older than me. So I'm there, and then every time I feel a grrr in my belly, my poor belly. Y'all know I have a belly. I love this girl. She's my sweetheart. Right here. And I'm just in there, grrr. Just chugging orange juice. So I'm like, oh, I get a big light bulb moment. You know what? If I finish this entire drink, he's gonna have to give me some food. Which, side note, I came to realize that this is called childburst. I'm gonna say a burst because I'm not trying to get. I'm not even. I'm not even monetized, but I'm not trying to get. What's the word I'm looking for? My video taken down. So, childburst. That's what that was. Sorry, thinking about this is gonna have me so heated. Those of y'all who know me know that when I get to my and I used to have anger issues. I used to have anger issues as a child, and the people who know me know that when I get to that the max level of anger and I start to laugh, everybody needs to just it's scary. I scare myself because why am I laughing? I'm angry. I'm raving mad and I'm laughing. What does that tell you? Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I finished the juice box and I walk up to him. I'm like, hey, I'm done. He's like, come with me. Takes me to this part of his house, opens up this floor, opens up this little storage space, and floor to ceiling is filled with boxes and boxes of this orange juice. And he opens it up, hands me the other one, and goes, here you go. Huh? Ooh. Okay, okay, okay. I almost fell. I'm gonna stay calm. I'm gonna stay calm because if I'm not careful, okay, 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 okay. This is why I'm very passionate about what needs to be done to people who hurt children. Multiple reasons are why, but this is one of the main reasons why. And not to even mention the fact that I'm an actual real life auntie. I have a baby niece and nephew. I call them my niece. They're twins. They're my angels. Auntie, auntie, auntie. That's how they be saying my name all over the place. Love them with all my heart and soul. Would kill anybody. Would unalive anybody about them. Don't take my video down YouTube. But anyway, back to the story. So I noticed this though, as the day goes by, nighttime rolls around, me and my brother fall asleep watching something, wake up in the middle of the night, wanting my dad because I want my dad, typical kid. I look around and he's nowhere to be seen, and there's flashing blue and red lights outside. Wee wee wee, and I'm like, huh, that is weird. That was Thursday night. So okay, whatever. Maybe it's just a quinky dink. That's normal. I live in Atlanta, so every night is wee 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 wee. Just yesterday I seen a cop and I said, "Get him, Ossifer." No, I didn't actually say that because again I live in the hood, and you have to show that I ain't no snitch. If y'all see this, I love all of you, all my hood gang. So Thursday night, I noticed, okay, he's nowhere to be found. It's whatever. Maybe he went out to go do something not strange, right? Okay. Friday night rolls around, and I wake up in the middle. And okay, I have to say this though. His wife, amazing, wonderful. You see, I was blessed not to have one of those quote unquote stepmoms that was evil. She was blessed, sweet, kind. She treated me like I was her own kid. And I'm grateful for that. I really am. Which if you see this lady, peace and shout out to you. I don't know how on earth you could marry that man. He is a terrible person. I think she's not even with him anymore. I don't know. But anyway, so she had given me food at around this point in time. God bless her wonderful soul. So I had eaten and then it was nighttime again. Me and my brother fell asleep. Me and my brother fell asleep watching TV. So I wake up in the middle of the night again, and again, I can't find my dad anywhere. And I'm like, where did this man go? So I get up and I walk around the house and I don't understand what's going on. Where is my dad? Again, wee, wee, wee. This time I hear people like walking around in the compound. If you don't know what a compound is, I don't know, freaking Google it. Houses work here. Houses work differently here than they do where I'm from. So, whatever. And I'm like, huh, strange, twice in a row, but still unrelated. I go back to sleep. Saturday night, there's a bum, 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 our door. And I'm like, what's going on? So I wake up. My brother also wakes up, and we're standing behind this lady, my brother's mom, my quote unquote stepmom. And then it's the cops. It's two of them. And then I look and I peek outside, and it's a whole SWAT team. Why is SWAT here? Huh? I didn't do anything. I don't even know these people, Ossifer. I don't know why. Why are y'all here? Why is SWAT on our lawn? This officer, one of the SWAT officers, walks up. Boom, 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 boom. He's got his gun cocked to the side. He has his hand on it like this. Boom, boom. Excuse me, man. Asked for my dad, and my dad's wife is just like, lets out the biggest sigh I've ever heard in my life. He's not here. And then I hear them talking, like, conversing with two of the SWAT officers in the back. And there's also regular cops around with them. And they're talking in the back and saying, this is the second time in a row that we haven't caught him. Yeah, isn't that weird? And I'm like, what is going on? Who are they trying to catch? And then the officer says, all right, ma'am, we'll be back here tomorrow. And she's like, okay. And they leave. So now Sunday rolls around, and Monday I have a very important exam. For those of y'all who live in the same country as me or who are African, you know what we call promotional exams, where if you fail, you're not making it to the second grade, to the next grade. And this was like this was class 6 into JHS 1, and for my fellow Americans, that's 6th grade into 7th grade. If you fail, you're screwed. And I already was the freaking, I don't even know what word to use. I was already the punching bag for the entire freaking school. Okay, if I got held back, it would have made my story even worse. Which I have a story about that. I'll tell you later. Sunday rolls around, and my mom is waiting because my dad's supposed to bring me back because she's gonna get me ready for school. School's tomorrow, and it's a very important exam tomorrow. And for some reason, he doesn't come back home. So I go to sleep. I have all my stuff packed, ready to leave. I go to sleep in the middle of the night, screaming everywhere. You know, I should really invest in a sound effects machine. See, but I don't have money. But you know what will give me money and get me out the trenches? It's if y'all like, subscribe, comment, and share. Help a girl out. Get me from over here to over there. Okay? Okay. So I hear sound. Man, stop. I come outside, flashing lights everywhere, SWAT, like at least 20 officers, regular cops, everybody's got guns. My dad is all like this, arrested, cuffs on his hands. And my brother is standing there confused. His wife is standing there, and she's like trying to plead with the officers. My dad's like, "Calm down, officer, calm down." Da, da, da. And so they're like, "We got you now. We're taking you away." And I'm just like, and I'm 12 years old at this point. I don't know if I said that already. I'm 12 years old. So as they're taking him away, he's like, "Okay, can we please at least bring my daughter? I have to get her to school." And I'm like, "Huh?" So they're like, "Yeah, yeah, we can." So they put me in a separate car. They put him in the jail car. If you have been anywhere near thugs or anything, you know exactly what a jail car is. So they put him in a jail car, and get this. They put me in a separate car. We get to the police station, and they let me sit outside, hand me a typical juice box, typical kids, in the police station type of thing. You won't believe what happened next, though. I have to calm myself down because I get so riled up. Adult me gets so riled up about all the hell that child me went through, and I love her so much. And if I could go back in time, the one thing I would do is go back and let her know that I love her, and she's amazing, and she is strong and resilient. I'm so sick of being resilient. We'll get into that later. So I'm sitting there drinking a juice box, and then this other police officer comes by and goes, "Hey, young lady, what are you doing here?" And see, I need y'all to know I'm 5'8", which is like in the upper percentile for height. Everywhere I freaking go, I'm one of the taller women. I lie and tell people that I'm 5'10", and they believe me. The short people. That's another thing I know. Short people don't know nothing about height. So when they're like 5'2" and say they want a man who's like 6'5", honey, you don't know nothing about what you're talking about. My baby brother is 16, just turned 16. I just turned 24. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord, because 2024 almost took my life. My brother is 16 and he's 6'4". He just wasting. He don't even play a sport or nothing. So I come from a family of very tall people. The tallest person in my family, my uncle Max, is 7 feet tall. Yes, and he has a lot of neck and back pain. Exactly. And let me even say this. Let me say this. Don't come in here bottom feeder being about it's always the neck. Yeah. And like I told y'all before, I have a dad. Hi again, daddy. Yes, in my family we call our parents mommy and daddy. Why? We're all grown, but we called them mommy and daddy one day, and they just really loved it because they said it reminded them of when we were kids. So we called them mommy and daddy to make our parents happy. So kick rocks if you have a problem with it because it makes my mommy and daddy happy. Kick rocks. Kick rocks. Kick rocks. Kick rocks. So as why? Oh my goodness, I went on a whole tangent. So why did I talk about height? I was a taller kid, and I was also chunky. So a lot of people misperceived me as older than I actually was. You know what I mean? And now that I'm older, people think I'm younger than I am. I can't win. I can't win. I can't win. He's like, "Hey, young lady, why are you doing here?" And I was like, uh, um, and then he'll go into the jail cell. And before I know it, I'm sitting next to my dad in a jail cell. And these two families come in. It was you. It was you. And you're a criminal. And then they both come in and they're yelling at each other. And blah, 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 and they're yelling. And I'm like, oh, what is going on? Officers are like, calm down, calm down, calm down. Relax. Let's talk this through. You know what my stupid idiot of a father did? So the thing about that house is it belonged to my grandma. God rest her beautiful soul. I'm named after her. Actually, my middle name is her name. She was a great woman, I heard. I didn't get the chance to meet her. But that's my grandma on my dad's side, my dad's mom. But The house, big house by the way. When she before she passed away in her will, she left it. She divvied it up. She divvied can't speak. She divvied it up to all of her kids. I think there's six of them. And the issue is, my dad is a terrible person again, like I said. So, but then the way that they worked it out is that the house is big and all of them live in different countries. So, since my uncle was the one who lived in Ghana, it was best for him to just keep the house. He was also the oldest. My dad didn't like that. Lived all the way in UK, didn't like that. So, moved his entire family down to Ghana, messed up their life just so he could take ownership of the house. Because the rule is that whoever lives in Ghana gets the house. But the thing is that it wasn't technically legal because my uncle had the deed still. So he gave my dad keys to like one section, like my dad's section of the house. So that's where we were staying. And then the big main house and the other parts of the house. So the house, the part of the house that we were in is where we had one room, we were all squeezed into one room. So terrible is my dad. Then he rented out the other rooms to other people. Can you freaking imagine? Which there's a stereotype about my ethnic group, my tribe, that we do that. It's not true. It's not true. We don't like rent out our own houses and sleep outside for the money. It's not true. Anyway, so what my dad had done is he somehow like the main house, right? When it was a different land, he somehow one of my uncles found out about one of my uncle's properties, went over there, somehow got the locks changed, and then sold the house to the first family. When the first family went on vacation, he rented out the house to the second family, which is so profoundly stupid because how do you even come up with something like that? And how do you think that it's smart? Because obviously, the first family is going to come home from vacation and realize that there's somebody living in their house. But he's so stupid that I guess he didn't even think that far. Oh, okay. I'm calm. I'm calm. I'm calm. I'm not mad. You see my stool. I work out. You might not be able to see the. You see that? You see, this is just resting, and this is. Ooh, ignore the hair. Don't don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. I've been trying to find my razors. I don't know where they went. So don't come for me. This is what I talk about. When you operate in a less than godly mindset, you become lesser of yourself. You operate in this profound stupidity that just makes everybody else wonder that what were you thinking? No, the problem is you weren't thinking. You weren't thinking because the demon that has taken control of your life, that you gave full rule, reign, and dominion to, because you operate in a worldly lifestyle, carnal lifestyle, has you thinking stupidly, acting like you don't have a brain, embarrassing Jesus out here. What? So families are in, they're yelling, blah, 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 blah. You suck, you're terrible. Blah, blah, blah. And the police is like, calm down. What's going on? This one lady goes, that's him. You're the terrible person that's scamming. My dad's yelling at me. I try to help you. I try to bless you. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, what is going on? And let me tell you this, slight side note. I don't know how or when, but my mother is an amazing person. I already mentioned this. The women in my family are, I can't even tell you. I'll tell you about that later. Somehow the news reached my mom that her daughter was in a jail cell. Let me tell you, my mom raised hell. We'll get slight tangent. Put a pin in that. Let's go back to what was happening. So they're yelling back and forth, and this one lady from one of the families goes, "Her, that little lady, she was a part of it too." And I'm like, "Huh?" She's pointing at me, huh? Ma'am, I don't know who you are. I've never seen you not a day in my life. I can't even see. Matter of fact, I'm blind in my left. I'm playing. I'm playing. So I'm sitting there like, I will never forget that. I will never forget because that jail cell smelled like desperation, filth. And if we were in America, I would describe that smell as bad credit. But we were in Ghana. So I'll say no money in your bank account. That's what that smelled like. We're sitting there, and then this other cop walks in, and then they're yelling back and forth. And my dad's yelling at them with them, and I'm sitting next to him in this jail cell, just dejected, holding my backpack, thinking that now it is 6 a.m. My exam starts at 8 a.m. It takes an hour and a half to get from where my dad lived to where my mom lived, and even longer to get to school. What the heck am I gonna do? 6 a.m. All the truckers, all the early morning, all the like harder workers are out and about, so it's gonna be insane traffic. What am I gonna do? I'm thinking to myself, and all of a sudden this cop walks in, and then he's like, "It's for you." Hands the phone to the cop who's handling everything, and then this is, I kid you not, that's how it happened. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I was, who's he saluting? Little did I know. I said, let's take the pen out of that and pick up what we put a pin. He's like, yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Immediately, jail cell open. I'm out. They put me in the back of a. They put me in the back seat of a pickup truck, and immediately, it takes an hour and a half to get from that place to my school. I was on my school campus in 30 minutes. And let me tell you how. I was riding in grand style because it was like at least 20 or 30 motorcycles all around leading and a whole bunch of cop cars. You would have thought that I was a president because usually when the president is stepping out, the way that you know that it's a president or someone who's like high in government is driving by is if it starts with a whole bunch of motorcycles, then a whole bunch of like police cars and a bunch of cars, and then one of them has a person inside and a whole bunch behind. That's how you know that okay, someone important is coming by. So everybody screw off the road, let the important rich people pass by. You would have thought I was one of those. It was crazy, like, and I was just sitting there like, and then we get to my school campus, and of course, this would have given my bullies more fuel. Thank the Lord God. Pull onto my school campus. I'm saying my mom's already there with my entire uniform. And then she gets me, which I went to a private Catholic school, so I had a uniform that we had to wear. Which don't do that to your children. I'll tell you that story later. My life is like a movie, let me tell you. And I'm glad you're here because you're entertained. My dear, beautiful Stashino. Look at you. You are so cute. Okay, so my mom gets me all dressed up and then she puts me, I'm just like, I'm still reeling from like just so many emotions. I'm like, I'm like, Mom. She's like, yes, baby. She's dressing me up, and I'm just like, and I'm changing in the parking lot, and a lot of cars are driving by, and I don't even care at this point. I don't care because I'm just like, I didn't care about hiding my body parts. So I know I always say this. Oh, that's good water. It's important to stay hydrated. Pure life. I bet you it tastes better than Saratoga. I'm in pajamas. Kick rocks if you have a problem with it. It's yesterday, the day that I had, which is getting into my second story time that I'll tell. That'll be in a different video that I'll tell you all in just a second. I had an insane day yesterday that made me just want to be in pajamas today. So sue me. Sue me. You're not gonna get nothing because all I have is $100 in my bank account. So you're not getting nothing if you sue me. Now that I'm older, I'm no contact with him. He has no access to me whatsoever. I don't have no beef. I don't have any love for him, and I wish him well. As far as I'm concerned, he does not exist, and I ask God to forgive me every day. We are working on forgiveness. I have been through so much. People have done me so bad, and I have to be the one to heal. You see, and I used to be so angry at that, but God has helped me realize that healing is not for them. It's for you. It's for me. And I heal because I don't have to carry bitterness around. I don't have to carry anger around. It just embitters my soul and leaves me open for demonic and spiritual attack. And I can't have that. I can't have that. I refuse and I rebuke that in Jesus' name. That being said, that was pretty much the story. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Once again, I am Stachios7777. I forgot to do my tiny little intro. Take this as the outro. And you are now a Stashino, a citizen or a national of Stachios Nation. And I love you. I'm so happy that you're here. I hope you stay here. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe. Anything you want me to change, like I said, we got gear now. Ooh. Aren't you so happy? Because now you can see all the cracks and crevices of my face. And now you can hear me properly. And I turned off the AC this time because I love you guys. So now I decided that I'm going to bake like a patatois, and then you guys can have good audio. All right. Love you. Bye.